Would you like to come have some coffee and pie with me?
We're back. We're at Maker. We've done a show at Maker, but you were sick. Yeah. So Matt and I actually did, I think, the second or third episode at Maker.
Mike loves Maker.
we all love Maker, and we actually come here. Most of the time when we grab a coffee and we're not filming, we come to Maker. So big shout out to them. But yeah, you were sick last time. You're sick today, but I made you come in to the office just for the podcast because I know how much you guys miss us and really look forward to your Wednesdays with us.
Yeah.
So I figured it was like timely and serendipitous. I don't know. Haven't had my coffee yet. That we come to Maker.
Yeah, it's just a chop.
Plus, to be honest, I just wanted to sit outside so I wouldn't get you germs.
Oh yes, and it's windy. So Melbourne's weather is just like the crypto market right now. Some days sunny, sometimes windy.
Well,
the same is bit.
Okay. Let's have a look at the markets. Firstly, fear and greed. So fear and greed is at 50. So every week we're going to start checking the fear and greed index, brought to you by the Ahab app. So fear and greed index is at 50. You. Bitcoin dominance is at 57.4. So both are down. So interestingly, fear and greed is down, but Bitcoin dominance is down, which means people are cycling out of Bitcoin into Ethereum. So you want fear and greed high, and you want Bitcoin dominance low.
That's really all season. That's a perfect recipe for all season. Yeah.
Right now, 50% fear and greed and 57.4 Bitcoin dominance. So still room to go. I think you're heading in the right direction. Bitcoin's at 111. ETH's at
45.50 roughly.
45.50. We had a great weekend. First, so let's start with the weekend because we had last Wednesday was down, right? Then we had an amazing weekend. We came into the office on Monday, picking out Lambos, working out what tropical country we're going to next. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Monday was a great day, and then
Monday was a great day, but I think that's what happened on the Sunday night, like we discussed in previous videos as well. It's always some sort of manipulation that happens over the weekends, especially on Sunday nights.
But so the Fed speech, Powell speech was dovish. It indicated that there will be rate cuts in September, and I think the odds of that now are like went from 70. We were worried it would drop, but now they're at 80. So I think a rate cut is coming. The market thought a rate cut was coming. Everything went up. We saw an amazing candle up, which if you're watching this, you were all probably euphoric about as well. And then a Bitcoin whale sold all of his Bitcoin.
Yeah, and Ethereum did make an all-time high as well. So
Ethereum made an all-time high.
And then came news of like a whale, OG whale from 2000, South Yarra, basically sort of dumping 24,000 Bitcoin in...
It was like 2.7 billion, right?
Yeah, roughly 2.7 billion worth in one go.
At once.
At once, yeah. So he was... and that led to a 4% drop in the Bitcoin's price. So Bitcoin did crash, like it was a flash crash sort of thing that happened over the weekend, like especially Sunday night.
And I don't think it's recovered.
It did.
A little bit, but not as much. So the whole market went down, right? But I think Ethereum's recovered quicker and stronger than Bitcoin because we're seeing people cycling out of Bitcoin into Ethereum. So it's a bit of
it's a whale game going on right now. So it's
a perfect storm.
It's all whales rotating to Ethereum. Yeah, that's what has been the trend like.
Tom Lee
is the big bull on ETH.
So he's trying to have 5% of the Ethereum supply. And if ETH goes to 10,000, it may not this cycle, but if ETH was to go to 10,000, he would have a larger crypto holding than MicroStrategy.
Yeah. Probably. Not in terms of the, I think...
value.
Yeah, in terms
of the value. Larger than MicroStrategy if ETH hits 10,000.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Exactly. So I think, and Sharplink is also chasing the big bags on ETH now. So I think we are, like how we discussed in previous videos, I think it's all a game of whales right now that are just wanting to get more ETH in their holding. So that's how the market trend is.
If you do look at the Bitcoin chart, we've had that bit of a pullback, but it's very reminiscent. It looks exact as of printing, as of going to air. It looks very reminiscent of the last time just before it hit all-time high. So we've sort of had those three in a row. I think we're seeing a pullback, but I do think we bounce back up into all-time high territory again. Or down to like
I think
5, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I think there's a CME gap at 117 that needs to be filled. So usually if there's a CME gap, so usually the market tends to pull back to those prices. So I think 117 is a conservative level to be targeting for the Bitcoin upside. And if BTC is able to close above it, then I think a new all-time high might be on the books. But if it doesn't close and it keeps on chopping and then goes down, I think we are in a massive distribution channel right now.
Okay.
And I think if Bitcoin goes to 117K, I think Ethereum makes more than 5,000 easily. So another all-time high coming for
Look,
Ethereum.
I think ETH 5Ks
should be the base, I think.
it's a matter of when, and I think it's a matter of is it tomorrow or the day after. Like I don't think we're far away from an ETH all-time high, and I would wager that by the time we do our next video next week, we would have crossed the 5K.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if we didn't. I don't know whether or not that triggers an alt season yet, but I think it's sort of. It's coming, not to sound like a broken record. I think it's coming, and I think we've seen everything sort of move a lot stronger than Bitcoin, which to me is the real indicator.
Yeah, and I think the alt season might be already coming for the ETH ecosystem, because
I think alt season is just ETH ecosystem.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what I've been seeing. So are we making a new high, like not an all-time high, but a new high on a weekly basis?
I think
then
it's
a pendle as well.
I think it's the US Dino coin, so I still think AVAX is due just because of that migration down to those coins like ADA and AVAX is familiar territory for some of these people taking profits now and migrating down. But I think it's the ETH ecosystem. I just, as much as you Solana lovers love to hate me in the comments below in our previous videos, I just don't think Solana has that much sexiness going for it at the moment. And I think Solana memes are no longer the sort of place to be to really move the market.
Yeah.
Don't see it happening again. Happy to be wrong. Yeah. Happy to get some extra liquidity on some of my Solana memes, but I just don't really see it happening. I think it's ETH ecosystem, it's AI, it's real world assets. I think
the only positive or bullish news around Solana is like Galaxy, I think, and Jump. And
I think they're doing some great stuff. I just don't think it's that disproportionate to what the rest of the ecosystem is doing now.
Yeah, so they're trying to basically make a corporate treasury on Solana now. So they're trying to follow the same suit.
They're trying to follow Ethereum did.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So what they're trying to do is like raise $1 billion and to buy Solana based on like the $1 billion raising that these three firms are trying to get in.
The problem for me with anyone taking like a Solana approach, even ETFs or governments investing in Solana, is that Solana is so centralized.
Yeah.
It can be turned off. It can go down. We've seen it happen.
Yeah. Not once, a lot of times.
A lot of times. Like to me, that is what's scary.
Flag. Yeah.
And if I was giving people strategic advice, not financial advice, it would not be to use Solana for those types of ecosystems, because to me that's dangerous.
Yeah, and I think Ethereum is the new horse in the town anyway. So I think
crazy, huh?
Crazy, yeah.
Dead Ethereum
to making new all-time highs within a couple of months.
Listen, but it's I think it's testament to the community and the Ethereum Foundation, but the community support as well. Because I'll be honest with you, before you started at day one, when I came in, Matt was massive Ethereum maxi. I just loved giving him. I just loved giving him shit because ETH was doing nothing. Yeah. ETH was doing absolutely nothing, and I was like, it's a dead project, and it's adopted technological changes that it needed to adopt to lower the cost of gas and the cost of essentially developing on the ecosystem. Yep. And I think like ETH is back and proven why it is number 2.
Yeah, and that's what Tom Lee has mentioned a lot of times. Like ETH is there to replace the current financial system. So a lot of foundation is being built on ETH. That makes it bullish, right? So. And
it's that crazy analogy of Bitcoin is gold, but we don't really chip off gold and go pay for a coffee. We're using finances that are built on top of the
ETH ecosystem.
Gold. So now it's like ETH is that. ETH has the opportunity to revolutionize payments.
Yep.
I think Bitcoin revolutionizes wealth storage.
Yep.
If we can call it that. And ETH has the ability to revolutionize payment. And then if you look at any other solution, once again, I'm sorry, Solana maxis, but Solana came out to try and improve speed, essentially copied what ETH is doing, and now are copying the playbook again.
Yeah.
And I just think that's that's unnecessary. It's a
Yeah, Solana has been always a copy paste. I think that's, yeah. The other thing being is like Sharplink and Bitmine or like Tom Lee's firm are going heavy on Ethereum, and there's a new positive news around blockchain technology. So, U.S. government commerce chief just announced that they'll be presenting the data on blockchain.
Okay.
So, U.S. GDP data is the first thing that they'll be starting to publish on blockchain, so that it doesn't get tempered, essentially. So
see, I love to like.
Yeah. So that's a very
we go back videos where we sat over there, we talked about the need for blockchain technology to
be in every
more than just a way to transfer funds.
Correct.
So anything like that really gets me excited, seeing institutional adoption, not just of the token as a monetary asset, but actually the technology backbone to build something is the way of the future.
And that's where US has been leading heavily, especially after the 3 bills. And I think they are going heavy on blockchain, especially after Trump's support. So Trump and his firms, as well as his grandchildren's and his own family, is like way too bullish on crypto. And now they are trying to integrate crypto in an everyday use case. So they are the blockchain maxis in a way.
Yeah.
And even Trump's son...
I think Trump probably has like a favorite horse, but you sort of see the early holdings, and of course he's got his own horses in the game. But being president, you just have to go. It's blockchain support.
Yeah, they have to. Like, they can't be just ripping off the money on different like coins and tokens. They need to be leading the way in like making blockchain the base case, and then like running the show on top of it. So that's where I think the Trump administration is heading towards. And I think it's a very big move that's happening like just in front of our eyes, wherein the traditional ecosystem is being replaced by blockchain. So that's a big news. So crypto is here to stay. Blockchain is here to stay. So that's a big
I wrote about this years ago. It's actually, I got one of my previous jobs when I was at VinFast. I wrote a paper that was saying, Web3, we were calling Web3 that one. Remember, it was Web2 and Web3, just to sort of really differentiate between the two. Only really becomes a success when we stop referring to it as Web3 or the blockchain. When it just becomes ingrained in the ecosystem of technology is when it becomes successful. In a similar way, if you remember when the cloud came along, everyone was like, Netflix is movies in the cloud. Spotify is music in the cloud. Now no one says it's in the cloud because it's in everything that you build. It's every app that you build has cloud storage. Everything is just in the cloud now. It's ingrained in technology. It doesn't need to be a selling point. And I think that's where the blockchain is headed. And it'll just be an assumed. And even the average adopter won't even know that it's built in the blockchain. They don't need to. So I think that's where we're headed to, and that's when we get real adoption. Right now we're talking about institutional adoption as a storage of wealth and a way to trade finance. But when we get real technology adoption and consumer adoption, I think that's when it becomes just a thing. Like imagine you could have invested in cloud-based infrastructure or the internet at the start of things, or programming languages. Imagine you could invest in AWS or even just like code. You can actually do that with the blockchain.
That's where we are heading.
Which me as a blockchain maxi, like from a tech point of view, like I often talk about these projects, but fundamentally I believe in the technology behind them. I think that's when it becomes really exciting.
That's true.
That's like when I geek out. I'm like, cool, we can make some money now, but I'm like, I geek out about the other stuff. And then AI, maybe we'll change podcasts, but AI sort of does that later. I can't wait for a world where the word AI starts getting ramming down my throat, and we can just, things that do things, and we don't need to say how they're done.
There have been talks about AI bubble almost about to burst as well. So that's another thing just to be cautious about in the markets, because it's been a choppy environment.
I think the AI bubble bursts from a VC point of view and from an investment point of view and a startup point of view, because it is so saturated, and it's like kind of everyone has...
Copy-pasting things.
Everyone does that now.
It's all copy-paste stuff happening there as well. So
I think it's what we saw with Web3 last cycle. Everything was Web3, everything was Web3, everything was Web3. Now everything's AI, AI. So the technology is sound. It's still coming to the future. Robots are still going to take over. You're still going to lose your job to AI. It's inevitable. But if we look at inevitability, I think blockchain adoption is first at this point.
And that's already happening. So it's a big news. The other
That's really off tangent for what we normally talk about, but there you go. Back to the
with the
DGen picks. Man, I invested in Kiwi.
got rug pulled?
Not
Not
yet,
yet?
but it's like, so I bought, it's the darling of X at the moment, and all your usual shillers are talking about Kiwi.
Yeah.
You jump on the website, the roadmap is all coming soon.
Yeah.
We got a DEX coming soon.
It's always coming
We
soon.
got everything. There's nothing actually being built. It's all hype. Great marketing.
Yeah.
But it's feels very old bull run because there's the smart contracts got a buy and sell fee of 5% built in.
Yeah.
So essentially, I've bought Kiwi. It needs to do better than 5% for me to break even.
Exactly. And then you sell it, you get charged 5% as well.
Charge 5%.
So need to be more than 10%.
Need to be more than 10% for it to make sense. So like that is probably why it's going to hold. And I think those 5% fees are sent to artificial buybacks. I don't know. It's all. I was like, I'm in because everyone was talking about it, and I was like, this is just
Mike
comedic
FOMO'd
value.
in.
Comedic value at the point. But I tweeted. I was like, when I complained about the rug pull,
Yeah.
I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah. No, that's where I've been like.
We're there. We're back there.
We are back there. Yeah.
We're back in FOMO.
Yeah.
Anyone can launch anything except for Yeezy. Anyone can launch for anything except for Kanye. Yeah.
So, yeah, those are the main things I think. And there have been talks on manipulating Hyperliquid because Hyperliquid has launched some pre-market tokens like XPL and World Liberty Finance.
So it talks that it's being manipulated.
It is. No, it got manipulated in the morning today. So we're in 3 whales longed, I
How
think
does that
roughly.
make you feel? Are you okay? Like,
Yeah,
Those are the-
it's just the pre-market tokens that are being manipulated. Hype is still making all-time highs almost in fees and revenue collected.
Okay.
So it's good for the hype and the pressure is being created on the hype buybacks because the more the fee generated during all those sort of events,
yep.
the more money goes back to just being like buying back hype tokens. So I think
It
that's
seems to
where
be such a, if you look at the cycles and crypto's the same as everything else we just talked about. Everything's got its like hype words, right?
yeah.
And so last cycle, driven by SafeMoon and those types of scam tokens, it was fees that get redistributed to holders, and that's like what you needed to have. Now every project needs buybacks.
Yeah,
Like that, That's the hype
new
within the hype at the moment. Is your asset has to have the ability to buy back its tokens and essentially
In the open
artificially
market.
stimulate the price.
Yeah, that's what is happening to Link token as well, right? So Link team generates a lot of money on those liquidations that happens in the market because it's an oracle, right? And the oracle gets all the money paid because of its technology and goes back to buying Link again. So the Link team is like setting up a treasury, already make more than 150K of Link has been bought back actively. And that's where I'm bullish on such tokens because these are the tokens that are money-making protocols. And then they are like creating another additional layer of buying pressure on top.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are the tokens I think that we've already discussed about Chainlink, we've discussed about Hype.
I'm a massive Link,
Yeah, Link
fan.
Maxi. Yeah.
but I forgot to tell you last week, I reached out to my friend who works at Chain
Okay.
and asked him if he'd like to jump on the podcast.
Yeah.
And the response is legal has told them they're not allowed to jump on any podcasts or anything like that. So
Okay.
it's like HR, like we're at a phase now where these crypto projects have legal teams and HR teams, and I found that, like, I get why.
Yeah,
but
Chainlink
I
is too big to
I
be
just
like
found that,
screwing
like-
up anything, I think. Yeah.
like you said, it's a business. So when you invest in Chainlink, you essentially invest in a real business, and I think that's part of the appeal of it, and why it's a safer bet, because it will continue developing even through a bear market, which will come.
Yep.
Chainlink will continue developing and be here right at the end of that market into a bull. So
Yeah.
it's one you can long hold.
Yeah,
but
that's true. A good
We're slightly
infrastructure play.
offended that we couldn't get an exclusive on our massive podcast.
Yeah. I think that's it. And the other thing was Bitcoin dropped to 108K levels. So there was a slight dip below 109.
Very quick.
Yeah. Quick up and go, I think. And right now the market is battling key resistance. So that's where I think Bitcoin needs to go up in order to be
Everyone's looking
having.
at like 110 mark. It's like,
It's a very crucial mark, honestly, because it was an all-time high, right?
it was an all-time high.
It took weeks to break above 110. And when it did, we reached 125. almost 125, and now it's back below and battling that.
It's funny though, like we look at it and we go, oh no, it's lost 2% and we're in the red and we're having a bad week. But I need to remind everybody that this time last year, Bitcoin was $62,000 a bit.
Yeah, it's already doubled up, so almost
right?
doubled.
It was 64,000 maybe today last year.
Yeah.
So that's in a year, like it's massive. We're good. If you were buying back, look, if you bought at 110, 120, you might be a little bit nervous, but for people that bought earlier, like, okay, we're doing well, and now it's about being smart and doing spot, like cycling out and doing some spot trades on ETH and Link and things like that.
And that's where institutions have bought this dip. So there was roughly 200 million worth of BTC bought, and BlackRock being the largest bidder. And then Ethereum.
BlackRock's also selling some.
They sold for a couple of days, and then after the dovish speech, they bought it.
They bought again?
Yeah, they bought again, and then happened the manipulation on the weekend, and then they were the ones buying more Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. So I think.
So they're, more
of
they're not getting out of it. They're just day trading. That's what they do with stocks and everything, right? They get it when they trade currencies and stocks. They buy and they sell, and they have whole teams of people that are smarter than us.
Yep.
That will be doing that to maximize their profits.
Yeah, I think that's where BlackRock and other firms are anyway, like taking it as a risk on versus risk off environment. Because whenever there's a risk on, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto will go on.
Well, what's interesting too is for the first time, Bitcoin's decoupled from the M2 money supply.
Oh yes, right? it's been just consolidating and chopping around. So yeah.
Because it's, I think that that's good. It shows that it's a mature asset now and doesn't rely on.
Yeah, I think it's just for a short term. I think Bitcoin catches up and goes above again. That's what I feel. Especially if 110K level holds. And if Bitcoin is able to close above 117 on a weekly chart, I think then we get a massive parabolic move. That's what is happening to SPX and the equity side, because they are making all-time highs. So SPX did make an all-time high again today. And the markets are very bullish. And there are news around Trump like distributing the money collected on tariffs as a dividend to the US people. So that's a big news to be like looking at for this month or next month to follow. Because there are already rate cuts happening for September, and then if Trump is able to incentivize people, like let's say $500 in cash for lower and middle class, I think they'll be punting into crypto. So that's the whole behavior.
America's just waiting for those stimulus checks. COVID set a standard, just waiting for handouts, and they'll put it into crypto.
Yeah, so I think that's another thing that is coming, and summer seasonality, like
so
how we discussed.
You feel more bullish than you did last week. Last week, I think. As long as a little bit bitter, but you seem more bullish now.
As long as Bitcoin holds the level, I think 110 had been a very key resistance and support for me. That's what I've been always discussed. So,
is your timeline still holding? You still think September, October, or have you pushed it back out?
I think September. Max is September. I think we might be kicking up a rally.
Morning, early September, late September?
Mid of September, I think. And that's when I reevaluate. I think we are almost heading to August close, and I think August monthly close happens above 5,000 for Ethereum. That sets up a big rally for September to come, and September is when rate cuts happen, and then
big meeting on the 17th. Fed's got the big meeting on the 17th.
So rate cuts happen, and in October end is when I think September end to October it might get pushed, like maybe a couple of weeks here and there. But I think September end and October start or mid is the key level for the market. Or the key timeline for the markets to be.
So that's when you're predicting the peak?
Yeah.
And then a crash after?
Yeah, because I believe that there will be recession news coming in later down the October. And like how we know, right? If there's a recession happening, the firms won't be going long on crypto because it's very volatile, right? So they'll be cycling back to gold, for example, because it's more stable source of value as well as like stable source. So I think that's...
You can buy gold on blockchain.
On blockchain.
J1X, you can buy PAX-G.
PAX-G.
If it's easier.
So I think that might happen. And the other thing being is, like, if Ethereum leads the way, I think the eventual alt season kicks in, wherein a lot of people like start to circle into SUI or...
But that's a small window. So if you're saying like we peak September, October, it's the end of August now. That's a very short alt season.
Yeah, it's not going to last for more than 5 to 6 weeks. That's what I anticipate. That's what my personal belief is. Like
Not
feels,
financial
yeah,
advice.
not financial
I
advice.
think
That's
we
how I'm
pushed out a
seeing the
little bit
market.
further. I don't think Trump's going to let recession news, even if America's in a recession.
Yeah,
Some would argue America's been in a recession for a while now.
it has been. Not on the data, but
Not on the data,
Yeah.
but day to day.
yeah.
I think typical Trumpism. I just don't see him allowing it.
I think that's
sort of.
where he's been eager to just get that sort of injection into the markets.
Yeah.
As well as the overall economy, because so
I think the
interesting.
wild card is whether or not these tariffs work.
They do. So that's
Right?
where
And if that stimulates the economy for him and they can avoid a recession,
Now,
like I think they avoid an official recession.
So what I personally believe is like recession will come because of the low economic activity that's already happening, and the data is always lagging. So that's the thing. So how the market behaves is like it always front runs the news, what is to come. So that's where I think the market goes to being bullish in September, and a bit part of October, but October turns red at the end of the close of the month. So that's what I feel, and inflation is taking a higher up again. So producer price index is going up again. So that leads to producers being able to get more cost to the end consumer. So that takes up the inflation to a very bigger level. So I think inflation is there to stay high. Then comes the low economic activity that injects the market, pumps up the inflation again. So it all correlates to basically a very bad period for the markets. That's what I anticipate for the next 6 months. So I think September, October, we peak. 6 months, it chops, goes down. I don't say that we might see 70% drawdown.
So when you see peak, do you just mean like the end of the peak, or then we see a massive crash? Or are you saying we just chop?
Massive crash for alts.
Massive crash
For the
falls.
shitcoin.
Yeah, but
95% of the
that's
shitcoin.
because, and everybody knows that.
Yeah.
If you're holding all alts, it's a quick pump, and please get out of it. Don't hold.
Yeah. Just don't
hold
marry your
Kiwi
bags.
long
Yeah.
term. Sorry,
Yeah.
Kiwi. Don't hold
Yeah.
Avo or any other fruit. That seems to be the name of the game now.
Yeah.
Long term, I think it's long term. You're holding Chainlink, Bitcoin, Ethereum.
Yeah, that's where I think a lot of
Do you
liquidity.
think Bitcoin
goes in.
crashes? Or
Not
do you think it just
70%.
chops?
Not 70%, I would say. As per the previous, I think it'll definitely go down. 20%, I think 30%.
Yeah.
But not 75% is what I anticipate. But who knows? Like Michael Saylor might get liquidated, and we might go.
Man, Michael Saylor might just sell everything.
Yeah, but there needs to be
Satoshi might
sell it as well.
They might defrost Hal.
Yeah.
Hal Finley was probably Satoshi.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I think the market might be heading to being bearish for the next 6 months after September or October. So Q1, I think till Q1, this whole thing will get reset, and then the new stimulus that's been injected into the market takes its own shape again. So 26, Q2, Q3 gets bullish again.
Yeah.
So I think 5 to 6 months is what I anticipate as a chop or a bearish market.
Yeah, I see that. I think Q1 and Q2, and I think that's what I've been saying by it being pushed back. I think Q1, Q2 is going to be the real peak of this cycle, if we call it like the cycle, and then we see a longer bear market. So yeah, I can see like October, November, December be quieter, choppy, and maybe a 20% dip.
Yeah.
But I think with Q1, Q2, we really sort of go back.
Yeah, the market absorbs that
Yeah.
and then tries to
and then
make
does
a
one
bottom.
more big kind of
And that's
push.
going to be massive, I think. If market is able to make a new all-time high, for example, in next year, Q1 or Q2,
Yeah.
I think Bitcoin is going to go above 200K easily.
Yeah, I think that to
on the
me,
next round.
I look at, imagining what we're sort of talking about this time next year.
Yeah.
I think we'll be saying that January was like that peak, the real peak of this cycle. I think
Yeah.
we've been going thing, and we'll have a nice dip. So yeah, I can agree with that. Sorry, I thought you were saying by peak in September, October, then we're done and we're crashed for 4 years.
No. I think 4-year cycle is already done. That's what
We've said that.
Yeah, it's already done.
I think we'll still see it. It'll just be smaller.
Smaller, yeah. So I think the overall trend will remain bullish for crypto, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum.
We see that in markets.
Yeah. It's all gone, I think. And if we are referring to the past data still, I think we need to be tweaking a lot of metrics around it. So that's what I see, because crypto market is more mainstream and mature now.
Yeah.
As an asset, and I think the institutions will be playing it alongside the equities or like the other asset classes.
Yeah.
And money will keep on flowing to Bitcoin or Ethereum or stable coins, because those are the
Well, money's going to keep
Sort of
flowing into
favorite.
stable coins. I think we see the massive financial institutions adopting stable coins. We see banks everywhere. We see governments. I don't think stable coins are going anywhere.
Yeah. New payment rails being built on stablecoins.
So the blockchain is not going anywhere. It's just the value of
the assets.
The assets.
Yeah. So I think these couple weeks or like 4 to 5 weeks are very interesting in terms of price action. So don't get chopped. I think it's a good time to be trading on all these Bitcoin and Ethereum, especially it's a very heavy volatile market. And there's a new stat in the market right now wherein, because summers are usually like quite stable.
Even like I said, zoom out of Bitcoin for the past month and you'll see like down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah,
up.
yeah, exactly.
So you can, and right now we're in that weekly
down,
right? And like this.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have a peak, so you can do some nice spot trading.
Spot trading, yeah. So that's where I think it's traders' paradise, right? So, and it's all going good so far in favor of bulls because the uptrend is still there.
Yeah.
It's only the dips that are being bought, and if you are able to sell the rips, I think that makes a lot more sense to make money.
Yeah.
During this volatile season, and I think September being the stable season, usually the summers are called stable. And the volatility is very low, but I think if there's a rate cut and if there's a stimulus check,
I think we'll still see volatility.
Yeah, that's where a lot of hedge funds and market makers are basically short volatility right now because of the seasonality. And I think that's where it's gonna be or opposite trade of Kramer, because Kramer is like.
Well, I just think we have like the real world and the data, and they're further apart than normal.
Yeah.
And so I think that's this constant fight, and I think that's why we'll see volatility even through the stable summer.
Exactly. So it's not going to be a stable summer. That's what I anticipate. It's going to be a very volatile summer, especially
with rate cuts coming. You're going to see.
Yeah, and if injection comes into economy, a normal person can get like $500 or $1,000 paid back to them.
They'll buy
the tariff revenue. So it's sort of a dividend that he's trying to get into.
They'll bloody buy AVAX and Cardano, and just know it. I just know
Pengu. I need them to buy Pengu.
Hey, how's Pengu doing? We're at 31.
Pengu is 31, 30. I think it's. I've seen like whale accumulation pattern on Pengu, so that's where I'm not selling it off. And I'm still holding. I'm still trying to buy the dips for whatever I have, and I've been trying to get some sort of a leverage on Pengu hold.
I'm just buying Ethereum at the moment again.
So my top picks are like sort of Ethereum, Link, Pendle, like a bit of ETH ecosystem alongside Pengu and the other.
Apart from Kiwi,
Yeah.
I know I mentioned like 3 or 4 times now, it's really not financial advice. I'm going to be sitting here next week saying I've been rug pulled by Kiwi.
Yeah. So those are the things that to look out for this week. Ethereum making an all-time high probably.
Well, I just emptied a lot of my Ethereum bags into things that I'm comfortable holding. So like a lot of it went into Ondo, a lot of it went into Chainlink.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking this opportunity to replenish some of those Ethereum bags.
Okay.
And then liquidate that and cycle more into alts later down the line.
Coming to Ondo, I think Ondo is launching its tokenized assets on 3rd of September.
Yes.
So that's a big thing.
And its whole tokenized marketplace as well.
Yep.
I think there is still
More than 1,000 assets.
ambiguity around what the Ondo token actually does in that. Yeah. I see angry Reddit posts all the time, some of them from me as well.
Yeah.
Say like, what is the actual utility for the token? Why am I actually being incentivized to hold Ondo?
Yeah.
And so we're chopping around sort of the $1 mark. I do think when there will be some good news around Ondo, that will explode.
Yeah.
But I'd be very, very cautious for people because I think there's a lot of bag holders around the $2 mark. And when Ondo explodes to $2, a lot of people are going to be dumping.
Trimming their bags,
and then buying back in.
Yep.
Myself as well, I think I'll place sell orders at about $2.20.
Okay.
Just because I got in very early on and I'm comfortable taking some of those profits.
Yeah.
But I will rebuy back in.
Yeah.
So I'll do some take profit orders and then wait for Ondo to pull back down. I predict like 2 to 220. I'm happy getting out at 2 and buying back in at 120.
Yeah, makes sense.
There's just a lot of people, just a lot of anger in the sentiment of going like I bought in, went to be the next thing. It hasn't. I still think it is the next thing.
Yeah.
I still do think it's a smart long-term play, but I would like to take some quick spot trades there.
Yeah, but needs to benefit the ecosystem or the holders that are like holding on the token in some hope. So
So I guess in this case, like I'll sell the news.
Yeah.
You know, like when there's news, it'll pump and I'll sell that and then buy back in.
Yeah. I think that's it for this week.
Yeah, overall I'm bullish. It's been exciting. You forget just how much happens on a weekly basis when you sort of like look
On
into
daily
it and
basis,
invest
like,
in daily
it's
basis.
a crazy market. Every day there's a new news around Trump administration doing some sort of.
What a time to be alive. It's just the
That's true.
perfect storm for this market. Like
Yeah.
with Trump, you know, the
all those
volatility around
whales.
everything,
Yeah.
with geopolitical conflicts, with adoption of this, of that. It's like there's just something crazy happening every day. It's great.
That's true. And a lot of data is like now pointing towards the whale rotation to Ethereum as well. So just keep that in mind and just be cautious trading. I think that's a key piece of advice.
And hey, we're going to do some videos that are a little bit more topical rather than reactive to the market. So if there's anything particular that you want us to talk about, drop a comment below and we'll do a video that's can be, you know, a little bit more long tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know whatever it is. And if we can't talk about it, then we'll try to bring in an expert that can talk about it. So let us know. And otherwise, we will see you next week for another, I guess, market recap and another coffee.
Yep.
There's no point reviewing Maker. Maker is great.
It
we
is.
love Maker.
Yeah.
Cool. See you next week.
See you next week. Thank you.